Everyone, Michelle here, the Brave Homeschooling Mama. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a new viewer, welcome. A little bit about myself. I am a school teacher turned homeschool mom. I have 2 kids and I love to make homeschooling videos for new homeschooling parents to help them find curriculum and teach them about curriculum for homeschooling ideas, encouragement, and motivation. Today, I have a review for you all as part of the Homeschool Review Crew. I am reviewing Storytime Treasured Student Study Guide, a Storytime Treasures Teacher Guide and Answer Key, and I'm also doing more Storytime Treasure Student Study Guide and more Storytime Treasure Teacher Guide and Answer Key. I was given this amazing product from Memoria Press as an exchange for a review. This curriculum is geared towards 1st grade, but I decided, since I have a kindergartner and he's already reading a little bit and he loves books and he loves to interact with books, that this will be a great product for me to try with him. And I was, at the first I was a little bit scared. I was like, oh, maybe I hope I made the right decision for wanting to, asking, you know, to review this because he's a little bit younger, but he did so well with the activities in here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, and then I'm going to turn the camera around so I can show you the inside of the curriculum. So this study guides, you pair with you pair them with wonderful picture books for kids. So the first book here, the story guide, the Storytime Treasures, you pair them with Little Bear. That's the one that we used. With Frog and Toad Are Friends, Cap for Sale, Make Way for Duckling. More Storytime Treasures, you pair them with Billy and Blaze, Blaze and the Forest Fire, Keep the Lights Burning, Abby, Stone Soup, Little House, Mrs. Rumphius, and The Story About Pain. So instead of just using a reader to practice reading comprehension and practicing spelling, you're using wonderful kids book, wonderful picture books, and you work with your kids on vocabulary. We did a little bit of spelling, we practiced phonics. Even my son was working on punctuation and capitalization, and he did so well for being only 5.5 and never done this before. So it's really a wonderful curriculum. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the format of the curriculum and show you what we did. And then at the end, I have a couple of videos of the activities that I was doing, with my son, so you can see a little bit of how we were working through it. So I'm going to show you the inside really quick of the teacher's guide. So we have the teacher's guides for this, and like I said before, we also have the more story time treasures. So I'm going to show you the inside of this one. We had so much fun with this, I really want to say. So we have the table of contents here and the different lessons for the different books. So we have Little Bear, you can see, has 4 lessons. Frog and Toad has 5 lessons. Caps for Sale has 2 lessons, and Make Way for Duckling has 3 lessons. So you have the introduction. Then here we have the model of the lesson plan about what are you going to be doing on day 1, the kind of things, essential phonics that you were going to be doing for day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. So I have a model of the lesson plan, how you're going to be following these activities in this book. So it has notes for the reading lesson plan. So what kind of things you're going to be doing as a pre-reading activity, what to do to prepare to read the book, syllabication, reading and post-reading activities, the comprehension questions, and other activities. So how to use the guide. So it says, before beginning to read any of these books or use a study guide with your students, you should do the following. You're going to talk about the cover of the book, explain what the spine has, find the title page, and there's a dedication page. Then you're going to do some word study and say each word. So this is for each lesson. You're going to read each sentence and define bold words. And I'll show you, and you'll see more what I'm talking about once I show you the lesson. Comprehension questions, fill in the blank, language lesson, and just for fun. So we read the book, and we have reading Little Bear. This was a really cute story. I remember reading this a while back. So Little Bear, day 1. So we have some pre-reading activities here to do. We work on some common words, So new words, syllabication for Storytime Treasure. Some more, I know there's some words here to practice, you know, separating the word and syllables. And fun is flashcards. So what I did for my son, I wrote these words on the board. We didn't have the flashcards or any of the, you know, common word cards, but I wrote the words on the board for him. And some of them he knew, some of them he didn't. Like I said, he is only in, you know, kindergarten, but once I showed him the word one time, he was able to learn it, and when we read the book, he was able to read the word. So this is what we do before we read the story. We said each word, we wrote the word, and use it in a sentence. He's never done this before. For the first lesson, I asked him to copy all the words, and I think that was too much for him. So after we did a couple more lessons, I made him copy the easier ones. But we read all the words, and we made a sentence as to best of his ability for each word. And then you read the story. And then after you read the story, and I'm sorry, it tells you here, you know, what pages you are going to be reading in that, you know, specific day up here. So after you read the story, you come here or read those first, you know, pages for that day. You come down here, you read the sentence, and you try with your child to define that word. And he was able to do a lot of this instead of him, you know, copying. I copied for him what he said. For day 2, we have some pre-reading activities, and then we're going to be reading these 2 pages. We did some, you know, some of the common words, and I wrote this all on the board. Then after reading, which will be the end of the little story, because it's a book, it has 4 stories in it, and then we answer these questions. He did so well. He read that book almost all independent, especially that first story, first time reading it. And I read the questions to him, and whatever he said, and I will show you in a second, I wrote the answer for him. So day 3, more word study. Day 4, more practice. So you can read the story again, or a couple of activities, some more word study, some less talk activity here. So we work on capital letter and punctuation. And as I said, he did so well with that. Rereading and phonics review as necessary. You read the story again, and then just do a just for fun activity. So all the lessons, I'm going to show you really quick, all the lessons are set up the same way. All the lessons for this, Little Bear. But if you go to the next story, you go to Frog and Toad as our friends, it is set up the same way. So it is great to follow the same, structure so your kid knows what to expect every day when you're doing these lessons. And I'm going to show you the next one really quick, the more, Storytime Treasures. It has the same format. So the stories here are going to be a little, from what I was looking, are going to be a little bit more advanced. So that's why I decided to start. I looked at the books and which ones will be a little bit easier, but they still going to follow the same format, okay? So I'm going to show you the guide that I did with my son. Like I said, we read the story Little Bear. Again, it says here, how to use the guide, word study, read each sentence and define. So the same thing that says in the teacher's guide. And we did this story Little Bear. So as you can see here, my son has a hard time writing. He's able to read really well for a 5.5-year-old, but he has a hard time writing. So what we did here, I read the words for him. We try to make a sentence, and he tried to copy them, and he had a hard time with that. So if you can see in the next thing that I'm showing you is going to be, he did just only a couple of the words. So read each sentence. What does the bold word mean? So when we read the sentence and whatever I had to help him a little bit, but for some of them, he was able to tell me the answer, what he thought, and then I wrote it for him. The next page here. So so these are questions about the story. He was able to answer them, but I wrote it for him. In here it says write the words in order, and I wrote little lines. And I wrote the words, and he was able to copy them. He did really good there. And then I copied the word, and he tried to copy it, and then he did those by himself actually. Some more here. So he only copied, we practiced doing the capital letters here, but he only wrote the second one. So I had a hard time writing. We did this activity. I'm going to show you really quick. And then for this one, he copied only a couple of the words. He does have a hard time copying and with handwriting. So I did a couple, I only asked him to do a couple. Whatever he said, I wrote down exactly how he said it. And here we practice this. And I have a short little video how we did this activity. So I'll put it in the end so you can see it. How to put, we're reading a sentence and then we're trying to figure out if we put a period or a question mark. So this is it. All the lessons, as you can see, were, I'm sorry, going the other way, were exactly the same. We were only able to get through one book because we went on vacation for one of the weeks of this review period. And as much as I wanted to do the book, we didn't have time to do it. But we got through one of the stories from the, so here he only copied one word. And he answered the questions here. I did the answering for him. Okay. So this is, and I'm going to show you really quick the more, Storytime treasures. It looks the same. Stories get a little bit harder as the study guide progresses. I am definitely going to keep using this with my son. I loved how, the stories were so engaging. He loved the little bear, and now he's something that he can read independently with some help. This was just a wonderful, wonderful curriculum. Lincoln, can you read the words that are going to be in our reading today for me? Just practice them.
What is this word?
Read the word. There. Then.
Here. Who. Fought. Foot.
That. Are you. More. Good job. Okay, go ahead. A. So after lunch, he is after
lunch.
After he has his lunch.
He has his lunch. Little bear will he
have
a nap?
Good job, buddy. Lincoln. So what goes at the end of that sentence? Today is Little Bird's birthday. Do we put a period or a question mark? What do we put at the end of that sentence?
That.
Very good. What is that called?
A period.
Good job. Could you put a period at the end of that sentence with your pencil? Good job. Can't read the next one.
Can he find Mother Bear?
Can he find Mother Bear? What does that sentence need? A period or a question mark?
A question mark.
Good job, because that's a, what is that?
Can you make it a little?
Yeah, just make it as little. Here, in this one, right here. No, right here.
Oh.
I know, it's a hard thing to do, huh? It's not to draw or to write. Good job. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this review was helpful. Make sure when you're done watching this video that you check in the description box. I have a link to the blog post where everyone that reviewed this or review other Memoria Press products. So there were tons of people I know reviewing. There were some, they were reviewing the kindergarten, but there were also reviews for different grade levels. So you make sure that you go ahead and check what everyone has to say about this wonderful study guides from Memoria Press, and there will be some videos and some blogs in there. So thank you so much for watching. If you're not following me on Facebook and Instagram, make sure you do so for more homeschool day to day. Thank you.